Hello friends, welcome to part 2 of project Payroll Management System using ASP.NET. So in part 1 we have created our database and you can see those two data tables here. So before creating our pages, let's put some data in our tables. So we need to put the data in salary table first because there is a foreign key referencing to the column role in it. So we'll go to show table data and you can put the data directly here, or we can write SQL query, but for simplicity we will put the data here. So let's put a role as director. Suppose his basic pay is 50,000 and the DA percentage is, let's say, 120, HRA let's say 30, and others say 50%. So any employee with a role director will get basic pay as 50,000 rupees, DA as 120%, HRA 30%, and other allowances 50% of basic pay. So let's put some other roles. Say manager. His basic pay, let's say 30,000. DA is 110%. HRA, let's say 30%, and others is 30%. And let's say engineer. Basic pay, let's say 20,000. DA 115%. HRA 20%, and others is 30%. So we'll list this data, and now we'll put our data in employee table. That means we will create some employee. Let's say show table data, and remember, when we are inserting the employee table, we will not put the value, any value in ID column, because that will be auto generated. You can see it's a little hazy or grayed out because it defines auto generated columns. And also we need to remember that when we are putting the values in role column, we need to put a value which is already present in this table. That means we need to put a value between director, manager, and engineer. So let's put a name. Gosh, this role is director. So you can see when I put these values in these fields and I press enter, so you can see the ID is auto generated as 1. And let's put some more values. Let's say a manager, and I press enter. You can see the ID is auto generated and also incrementing by 1. Now let's suppose if I put another value, but I here put some value which is not present in the salary tables role field. Let's say artist. So you can see you will face an error that the insert statement conflicted with foreign key constant FK employee role, because that the referencing table and the reference table values do not match, so we cannot put this value here. So we need to put, let's say, another manager. Sorry, I spelled that. So you can see the ID is generated as 5. So where did 3 and 4 go? So as I faced two errors, actually the ID is generated whenever there is an insert statement is run, even if it is wrong, not executed. So when I put some other values, the insert statement executed but did not commit successfully, but the ID is auto generated. So 3 and 4 was generated but not included in the final data. So when I put a valid data, the latest auto generated ID will be here. So let's put another number. Okay, this will do, I think. So our table and data is complete. Now we will go back to our page creation. So delete all those tabs, and we will create our first page. We will basically have two working pages. One page which will have the payroll information, means there will be a drop down list from which I will select the employee's name, and when the employee's name is selected, the basic information about their basic pay, HRA, DRA and other allowances will be displayed. And there will be the second page. When I click on that create generate payroll, the page will be redirect to the second page and we will have the final payroll there. So let's put our first page. So we'll add a web form. Let's give it a name, dashboard. So ASP will create a basic initial format for our page. So for designing, I'm not exclusively designing any CSS. I will include Bootstrap for our simplicity. So there is a very easy and intuitive way for including any external package to our ASP.NET. So you go to your project name, right click here and go to manage NuGet packages. You will see it will search all the online packages here. So you go to all and click here, right here, Bootstrap. So give it some time, it will search from net. You can see which places it will search. It will search NuGet.org and all the Microsoft packages. So you can see the Bootstrap CSS is here. You can just press install, and as you can see it will install jQuery also, as Bootstrap has a pre-dependency of jQuery. So you can see the right mark here, that means our Bootstrap CSS is included. So closer, so you can see some extra folders here. Those are created because we install Bootstrap. Now we can import the Bootstrap CSS from here, and including an external file into the .NET ASP.NET page is very easy. You just drag and drop to the place where you need it, and it will write all the necessary tags and properties. So we'll give our page a title, dashboard. Now you can see it has already created a form for us. First we will give it a heading. So using Bootstrap you can create a breadcrumb like space, a big space for writing heading information like that. And even before that you can include this inside a container so that our page is well maintained and also responsive. So when you writing a very big XML or HTML or .NET files here, you can see these tags may be clumsy. So you can rearrange these tags using a very quick method. It is format the whole document. You can see the shortcuts here also, but click on this, you can see the tags are already arranged. So we'll give our heading as payroll. Here we will create a drop down list. You can see the drop down list option here. Now you press double tab, so it will create a basic common format for your drop down list. Now I need to link our database table with this drop down list. So for doing that, you can see this arrow here, click on that. It will give us an option, choose data source. Now as we then don't have any data source, we need to create a new one. So select new one, and it will open a new wizard. Click on SQL database, because we are using an SQL related database. You can see other types of databases also, so we'll use SQL. And in the drop down list you can see our payroll.mdf file, the database we created. So select that, and it is only for the first time it wants to save this connection string in the web.config file. So click on next, and now we will need to link which table, which column will go to our drop down list. So our drop down list will have the employee's name, and in the back end of the drop down lists menu it will have the role. So we'll select everything from the employee, and additionally we can also sort it by name. Okay, next you can test the query here. It will give the result which you are going to see. So you can see here, click finish, and as you click finish you can see select data field to display in the drop down list. So you will display his name, and the value will be its role. So as you click OK, you can see many things are auto generated here. So the SQL data source field is it's a ASP.NET own tag which creates a data source. You can see the select comment here. You can see the connection string. Now where is this connection string is situated? If you go to web.config file, you can see a new tag has been generated in connection string. It will create the connection string here. So pretty useful. Now let's come to that. So before proceeding any further, we'll see how our project looks like till now. So you go to this run. You can use any browser here. I'm using Firefox. So click run, and it will start in running mode, and Firefox is opened. So you can see a little interface is generated, and you can see a drop down list where all our employees name is populated and also alphabetically. So pretty good till now. So let's head back to our project, stop it, and what you need to do, whenever I click a name from the drop down list, I need to see all his informations. That will not generate the payroll, but I need to see the information, and there will be a button. When I click that button, the payroll will be generated. So for displaying the information, let's create a grid view. It's the simplest way of showing database information into the ASP.NET page directly. So for grid view, we need to create another data source. You can see the previous data source here, but we will not use that. We will use a new one. So select new data source, SQL database, and you can see the previously created connection string here. You can also see the connection string here. So go to next, and what I will do, we need to show the role, basic pay, DA, HRA and other allowances of the employee which is selected from the drop down list. So what you need to do, we can firstly we need to do just giving the drop down list an ID, let's say EMP. So again head back to the grid view, and you can, as the data source is already created, you can configure the data source here. So connection string, and I will select everything from the salary where the role comes from the control named EMP. You can see how smoothly flowed the process is. So you add it and a filtering criteria is added. So you click OK, next and finish. So you can see many things have been generated. So let's see a live view of our project. You can see as it is already selected Akash, so his basic pay and other things are showing here. As I see Kamal, you can see nothing is changed. It's still showing Akash's information. So what you need to do for that, we need to embed some trigger when I click the drop down lists items. So for that we need to include in this drop down list an extra attribute which is auto post back. So when I put this auto post back true, so whenever it clicks an item from the drop down list, the page is partially submitted and fetches the data from the database. So now let's check it out. So whenever I click Kamal, you see all the corresponding information has been changed. Okay, pretty cool. Now we need to add another button which will redirect us to a second page for generating the final payroll. So we'll create a button right in the end. Say generate payroll. That's it till now, and we'll create a new page and where we'll handle some session, we'll handle database and fetch the database information and create a new payroll. So see you friends in the next video.